Welcome back to Cold Ones with Mark and Matty Ice. Mark Verderame here. We're going to talk a little NFL. We got the playoffs coming up. Very exciting times in the NFL. We're going to break it down for you. We have 3 repeat matchups of Week 17. I don't like that.
I don't like that at all.
No, I don't like that at all.
I think it's boring, repetitive.
Boring.
Goodell is looking into the competition committee about different things where people sit their starters.
We're not going to talk
something.
about the commissioner.
Not going to do that right now.
I want to get fined. But the Jets, Cincinnati. Jets blew them out this week. You can't really. I know Cincinnati wasn't playing their starters. I'm gonna mark an X through this entire game. I'm throwing out the whole game.
The Week 17 game.
The Week 17. Okay. I'm throwing out the Week 17 game. Cincinnati at home. The Jets ran the ball on Cincinnati. This is a tough thing to do on a team twice in a year, let alone twice in 2 weeks. Cincinnati at home. When you go on the road in the NFL, you have to be able to pass the game. Herein lies the question. Can Mark Sanchez win you a playoff game?
Look, before we get into Mark Sanchez, and for those of you who don't know, Mark is a little against Mark Sanchez. Doesn't like him, hates him. As a matter
I
of fact,
wouldn't say I hate him. I just don't think he's an NFL quarterback.
But I see what you're saying. You think Sanchez is going to have to win them the game, and we were talking about this. It's tough to beat a team twice in one season.
Right.
But the Jets have statistically the best defense in the league.
Why is everybody so high on the Jets?
Wait. They have the. I'm not saying I'm high on them.
They're talking about Super Bowl.
They have the. Let's not even say the Super Bowl. I don't think the Jets are primed.
People are saying this.
Oh, well, those people are. I believe their name is Rex Ryan, but that's about it.
I like Rex Ryan though.
I like Rex Ryan. I like Revis, who I actually do think he might be the best shutdown corner.
If you look at the stats of Revis, he held
Randy Moss twice to under 35 yards.
Talking about the under 35 yard stat?
Yeah. Moss
twice.
Every receiver on the Saints didn't get over 35 yards. Yeah. Ocho Cinco. And, you have premier receiver. Andre Johnson, too.
That's the big. I thought that was the most impressive one.
Right. So I think he's the real deal. And they have I think they have one of the top 5 rushing teams.
I'm not saying their defense isn't good. I'm just saying
their rushing attack, and when it gets cold, they're going to run the ball. They're going to try to run the ball, but after, like you said before, They already showed their hand.
They showed their hand last week, and Thomas Jones, probably the most underrated running back in football. Now, have you seen the pipes on Thomas Jones? This guy's got some pretty big arms.
Right.
I wouldn't want to run this guy now.
Right.
Here's the thing. Defensive-wise, Cincinnati was out without their run stopper, the defensive tackle who was out. This isn't Cincinnati team, who's played well this year. They're going to stop the run. They're going to concentrate everything they got because the Jets showed their hand. The Jets show what they're going to do. They know the packages. Cincinnati's going to game plan for that, put 8 in the box. With that being said, Mark Sanchez is going to have to win the game. Matty, quick prediction, Jets or Cincinnati?
I'm going to go Jets. I'm going to go out on a limb.
I'm going to go Cincinnati. Matt's got the Jets. I got Cincinnati. We're going to move on to that night game.
Quick question. If the Jets win, if Sanchez makes a play, are you a little off his back or no?
I'll be off his back. I'm going to judge Mark Sanchez entirely on this one game.
On this one game? Okay.
That's how you get judged by the playoffs.
Right,
That's how it is. Philadelphia at Dallas.
Speaking of getting judged by the playoffs. Tony Romo has yet to win the game.
Tony, you're 0-2 in life with Carrie Underwood and Jessica Simpson. You're 0 for the playoffs. You have as many playoff wins.
Real quick, heartbreaking news. Carrie Underwood's engaged to a hockey player.
This was very depressing news. One of my good friends, Alyssa Sadowski, broke the news to me.
Our condolences go out to every male out there who's ever seen Carrie Underwood. She's off the market.
Yeah. On my iPhone, my background is actually Carrie Underwood.
That being said, let's get to this game. An exact repeat. That Jets game was at New York. Last time it's at Cincinnati. This one's still at Dallas. You're at Jerry World. Real interesting game because if Philadelphia had won that game, they get a bye. But then I see a really interesting weird stat. Philadelphia doesn't blitz Tony Romo not maybe even 5 times during the game.
You have to blitz Tony Romo because this is a guy who will panic. Tony Romo will panic. He is afraid. He was afraid of getting married to Jessica Simpson. He was afraid of commitment with Carrie Underwood.
He runs around women. He tries to get away from them.
He's afraid of everything, and he will burn this stadium to the ground.
New stadium,
too. He will
too.
lose Wade Phillips his job. Hopefully, he will lose his job.
But
Tony Romo.
But in all seriousness, if Philadelphia hadn't blitzed him and now you throw a whole new blitz defensive package against him this week, I don't think you see the shutout. I really think, and we talked about this before, again, it's tough to beat a team twice. It's tough to beat a team even harder 3 times.
For Dallas to win this game, they're going to have to hold Philadelphia to the same production level they had last week.
It's just not
with a
gonna
team
happen.
like Philadelphia, shoot or shoot. Kobe Bryant's going to keep shooting if he's 0 for 5, 0 for 6.
Right.
He's going to keep shooting until he's 10 for 15.
And Andy Reid, I am the walrus, looks like a walrus. He's going to keep shooting. He's going to keep passing.
The fact that they didn't score anything last week means they're probably going to score 40 this week.
Right.
Dallas played a perfect game against Philadelphia last week. Could they do that again? Maybe. Is the crowd going to be a factor? Philadelphia is coming in upset. They're mad. They're focused. They've been there before.
And who you got?
McNabb. I got Philly.
I got Philly too over the playoff wonder that is Tony Romo. He's holding the ball again. Let's get a repeat of that Seattle game. Drops it. Sunday, we got the matchup, the early game, AFC.
The Ravens and the Patriots.
Ooh. Now, Patriots, big loss. Wes Welker, torn ACL, torn MCL.
I was taking the Patriots to go to the Super Bowl up until Wes Welker got injured. This is a Patriots team. They've been there before.
And how do you bet against them in one
it's
game?
It's tough to bet against them. Look what they did to Indianapolis. They should have won that game.
Right.
Without Welker, I know they got Edelman out of Kent State.
You got Mini West. Belichick, just throw this guy in there. Hey, throw it to Moss. Throw it to Welker.
A team that without their biggest threat,
most consistent player by far.
They're gonna have to run the football, and they don't have a running game.
Right.
Baltimore defense too tough in this one. They got the defense. They got Flacco. Ray Rice has been a monster. We talk about the Patriots' defensive struggles. Ray Rice is going to run the ball, force him to put 7 in the box, and then Flacco takes over.
We had a return of Willis McGahee this past weekend.
McGahee
running like he hasn't run in a while. So I'm going to take the Ravens also. I'm
going with the Ravens in a close game. I think the Ravens, win it on a field goal. But I wouldn't be surprised if Tom Brady. I'm going to go on a limb and say at least one player on the Patriots offense will be knocked out of the game and maybe out of consciousness.
Oh, okay. All right. So we got a big hitting. Final game of the weekend. You got the Green Bay Packers, another repeat of Week 17 against the Arizona Cardinals. My Green Bay Packers. Now,
Vince Lombardi came into the locker room and said, "Gentlemen, we will be successful if we rely on 3 things and 3 things only. Your family, your religion, and the Green Bay Packers."
Right.
And, Green Bay's been playing very hot. Right. I think Green Bay has an outside chance to get to the Super Bowl. You talk about their offense, it's a stout offense. Their defense is pretty good.
Charles Woodson, if he could very well win Defensive Player of the Year.
You know what? I think that they're going to destroy the Cardinals.
I like that prediction, not because I'm being a homer or anything. I mean, I like the prediction. You can't. Kurt Warner, Larry Fitzgerald, Anquan Bolden, all threats, obviously.
Bolden may not go.
Right, that's true.
He's hurt,
and
Warner's been known to burn stadiums down.
Beanie Wells, you can't have total confidence in that running game.
No.
Ryan Grant catches fire second half of the season all the time. He's running well. Aaron Rodgers whipping the ball around. And the second-rated defense. Green Bay has the second-rated defense. It's tough to bet against them, and I don't care if the Cardinals didn't play anybody this past weekend. Green Bay comes out. I think you still have a big momentum.
I think Green Bay wins this game for 2 reasons. One, because their offense is so good, their defense is playing so well, they're hot. It's all about who gets hot first. And for another reason, when they win this game, guess where they're going next week? That's right. They're going into Minnesota next week. So that's going to set up that Brett Favre matchup there. I love it. I want to see that.
Rodgers, Favre, this is Joe Buck on Fox.
Inning over.
Cold ones with Mark and Matty Ice. Thank you, everybody.